Blog Talk Radio.
Well, hey, folks. I had to literally think about what day it is. This is how you know that you're doing way too much. I'm going to guess that it's Monday. I know it's Monday, folks. I have had a little bit of a hiatus since last week. So, hi, how is everybody doing? I have to say, to start off, we have a couple of quick announcements, so we don't want to keep the guys on hold too long. First of all, just to remind everybody, I am still taking submissions for my film festival. In case you have not heard, Art is Alive Film Festival is going on this year, August 2019 in New York City. If by some chance you have any of the following, which would be youth films, if those of you are 18 and under, well, typically we say 16 and under, or mentally 16 and under for that matter, you can go ahead and submit your youth films. We have screenplays and we have shorts and features. Screenplays are always $20 per submission, up to 110 pages. We have youth films of any kind that are $10 for submissions, and shorts and features up to 90 minutes are exactly $25. Two places to go for that, which is Film Freeway, which is Art is Alive Film Festival, or my website, artisalivefilmfestival.yolasite.com. I will be taking all submissions up until May 8th, if I'm not mistaken, and again, the festival is in August, so please go ahead and send your submissions in. Want to keep everybody posted. Yes, indeed, I'm still looking for casts for 100 Looks of Love. Surprise, right? I know, it's like the movie that never ends. If anybody is interested, 38 to 55 age category is traditionally what I've been looking for. My direct email address is cin4251@gmail.com. Please go ahead and send your submissions in. We're going to be closing things out by the end of this weekend, I believe, for casting. So if you're interested, New York City, Wisconsin, Chicago, or the surrounding area, please go ahead and get a hold of me. Obviously, I think I've said this about 18,000 times, but yes, in case you haven't checked out the new clothing line, MG Frocks is the name of it. Michael Gentile is the founder. I, of course, am the other lowly little owner, and I say that in jest, of course. Clearly, of course, this is our endeavor together. It's called MG Frocks. www.mgfrocks.com is the actual website. As you know, in case you haven't heard, we are currently structuring our Film and Frocks tour. Currently, this week you will find us. Where will you find us? Red Carpet event in New York City. If you haven't checked my radio page or my personal page, please go ahead and do so. That's where we are located on Wednesday evening at SBA Theater. Obviously, this coming weekend, I've said it a couple different times, but one more reminder, Asbury Park, New Jersey, we will be at the Garden State Film Festival. If you're looking beyond that, April 6th, we will be in Orlando, Florida. Excuse me, I apologize. April 3rd, the Cleveland Film Festival. April 6th, we will be in Orlando. April 9th through the 11th, we will be in Vegas for the NAB show. And then, of course, the 14th and the 15th, we will be part of Kids Fashion Week in Washington, D.C. Technically, I believe it's Alexandria, Virginia, and Maryland, but go ahead and check the MG Frocks page on Facebook notifications. And, this little thing called Tribeca at the end of April. Super, super excited about that. So please go ahead and check that out, obviously. The only other thing that I wanted to mention real quickly before we put the boys on air is I cannot thank you enough how very kind and gracious all of you have been about my posts lately, and in particular today. I cannot thank you enough for all of the very kind, generous, sweet, sensational comments that have been made on my social media today. So I cannot thank you enough. Obviously, as I mentioned, very, very happy, very excited, and looking forward to the next chapter here. So we'll see how things go. But you guys don't want to sit and listen to me. You will, of course, want to listen to these guys. These guys are far more substantially important than I am. So let's get them on the line and start chatting. Hello? Who do I have first?
Hello. Are you there?
Is this Jimmy?
This is Matt.
Oh, God, I didn't recognize your voice there. I've been talking to you forever. I'm sorry I didn't look at the phone numbers. Okay, so I have Matt, and I assume the other two cohorts are on the other line together. Is that right? Is this how we're all working together?
There should be, you go ahead and pop through. They both should be
let me go ahead and pop them on as well. Yeah, so this way then let's just make sure we have everybody. Just hang on one second.
Okay.
Boys, do I have all three of you?
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear.
Is this Blog Talk
two
Radio?
of you. This is Blog Talk Radio. Who do I have?
Well,
How many? I have all three.
I can hear Matthew.
No, there should be one more call. Jimmy should be calling.
No, I got two. I just have the two of you. So I've got Tony and I've got Matt, right? Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Here's what we'll do. Since we have the both of you, I can start talking to both of you, and hopefully Jimmy will get on the line. I think that's probably a good idea because there's so much to talk about. Oh, my God, I'm so excited. And I cannot thank you guys enough for being so patient for me. And I am literally, you guys are such a big deal. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Out of all my clients, and everybody listening in right now, out of all my clients, they're my favorite people because they're the most laid back. They expect very little of me, and I don't mean that in a poor way, meaning that you're just the easiest to work with, and I'm so very proud for some of the things that we're going to talk about today. And I want to bounce around all over the place because when I do an interview, I speak very, very I'm all over the place for a reason. I don't want people to just identify you as a musician or a filmmaker as just anything, so to speak. So I want to start back at the beginning because you guys are Washington-based and I'm Wisconsin-based. I get the good fortune of traveling all over the place. So I want you guys to start off by talking a bit about the music scene in Washington and tell me a bit about how hard or more simplistic it is to get established in a place, that's close to Seattle because obviously I hear all sorts of wonderful things. I have never been to Washington, so I'm about to come and see you guys in the near future.
Oh, well, there you go,
Yeah. I want to know what it's like to be having roots there, trying to establish yourself as a band there, and moreover, what's specialized about the Seattle area in terms of music that we want to know about? Because, again, I've never been there, so I want to pick your brain a bit.
Well, the thing is right now it's kind of amazing. There's been a big resurgence of the live music scene. It's been kind of, wishy-washy for a while at this point, but now there's been a couple of people in particular that have been promoting. Chris Aldridge doing the 420 Palooza Smoker Tour. Stacy with this last gig that we just played on Saturday. There's people out there actually putting together this live music scene, and it's really starting to happen. It's very exciting. I mean, I can kind of equate it to back in the way back in the day when things started kind of breaking loose in Seattle. It was like kind of a pent up energy. A lot of people talk about that. It's rainy here all the time, and so the musicians sit around and write music. So you get all this pent up music that's kind of sitting in a garage, and then it just starts to bust out into the streets and into the clubs, and that seems to be really what's happening now. I mean, there's original shows with original bands that are really good going on, all the time now.
I mean, some of these guys are simulcasting these shows, so you could be anywhere, pretty much in the known web world, and access these and view some stuff you might never be able to see otherwise. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, and I also imagine. And I don't want to be rude about this, so there's a nice way to say this. But obviously, one of the things that I find coolest about you guys is the fact that you're not 20-year-old musicians anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because with age comes maturity. It also comes experience and wisdom in certain things. So, again, I want to ask the question, in the Washington area, are you finding that your musicians are of that same thing, or are you kind of surrounded by millennials and establishing yourself as being more of the veteran group? You follow what I'm saying?
Well, what's funny about is our demographic because we've put out we've got our website www.viciouskitty.band. We've got music out there on Spotify, on Reverb Nation. We've got our Facebook page, and what's funny is our demographic is kind of weird. It's all over the place. It's from 20-year-olds up to 50. We got a review from a 61-year-old that loved us. It was, so what do you say there? It's like, man, this is awesome. You get a good cross section wherever you go, but it kind of goes back to just good music is universal. It's always been that way.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean that's like I say, there seems to really be an energy and a momentum growing in Seattle, in the Seattle area, Seattle, Tacoma, right now. That's just carrying us along with it. We're just really excited to be a part of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and just the other day, I got to say, if you don't mind, one of my sisters, the first time she saw us live, and she was like, "Wow, you guys sound better live." I said, "Thank you." So,
you sound better live.
Well, we do also have a couple of videos. We have a couple of videos out on on YouTube, and you can check that out. We have our YouTube channel, the Vicious Kitty Band, and so we've got a couple of videos. And so she's only seen us in the videos, and that was her comment. It's like, wow, I really like the videos, but wow, you guys are great live. It's like it was even better at the time.
But help.
Well,
yeah, it's very.
I have to ask this because one of the things that I wanted to know for a long time, because obviously I'm almost 50 years old, so I grew up with the 80s bands and 90s bands and all that jazz. Remember back in the 80s and 90s, you get yourself a following, and obviously these people that come around and follow you, you've got age groups of all kinds and all that jazz and stuff. So you guys have what we call our typical groupies, you know what I mean? Like every time Vicious Kitty plays, you've got the same kind of people coming out. And tell me what your groupies are like, because I can imagine in my head what they're like, but I want to know who are these people.
Well, that's the thing. I've had people that showed up to gigs that I haven't seen in years. They kind of came out of the room and said, "Whoa, dude, I heard you were playing." Hey, and they show up and you're just like, "Wow, hey, thanks for coming. I haven't seen you so long." You try to spend a little time with them, but of course you're in the middle of a show. So, but along with that, I mean, the support we've had has been amazing. Friends, family, all turning out, all pushing. We'll post something and everybody will repost it and just keep right. They're all just right with us, and we love taking them along with us for the ride. It's quite a thing to do this Vicious Kitty ride. It's pretty awesome.
I'll say one thing though.
Yeah.
Jimmy Bitchin.
Go ahead.
He draws, and people come to take pictures with him, whether they know he's with our band or not. So that's a plus.
Really?
He just has that.
Yeah. Seriously?
He's so tall. He sticks out above everybody, and he just has that look where people are like, I want a picture with him. So I would say, if you count some of the pictures he's had, a lot of places we've gone, our cross-section of fans is pretty extreme, definitely.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, and Jimmy, him and all of you, really, honestly, and this is just an outsider's view looking at the three of you, what works really well about the band is that you're so very different. Like, Matt's got his own look, and, Tony, you've got your own look, and then, of course, we all know what Jimmy looks like, obviously. So, do you know what I'm saying? It's one of those. Can you guys hear that?
I can hear that.
For whatever reason, I have no idea how that happened, but okay, I'm sorry about that. You all have a very individualized look, and I think the combination of all three of you makes for a really interesting band. Obviously, we're going to get into that now in terms of all the similarities and differences that you've got, clearly. But since I got the two of you here together, let's start with the both of you. Now, either one of you can start on this and tell your listening audience about the relationship and how you guys first formulated your relationship, and tell me what the best part and the most challenging part is of working with someone who you've been with this long.
Well, okay, I guess I'll start to break the silence. It all started back in high school when another friend of mine who...
Can you hear me?
Jimmy, can you hear me?
Jimmy,
there you
hang
are.
up.
Do I have... Oh,
can
my
you
God,
hear me?
you have all three?
No.
I can
hear
hear you.
You hear me?
Hello,
Yeah,
can you hear me? Somebody say yes.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Somebody say something.
Oh,
something.
no.
Okay, no one's there. I'm going to hang up, I guess.
Hello?
I can hear you.
I can hear.
Jimmy.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear everybody.
Hello, are you there? Can you hear me now?
Okay, can you guys hear me? So the three of us can hear each other, right?
Hello? Hello?
Oh, no.
I'm
Can
hung
you
up
not
on.
hear us?
Uh-oh.
No.
Now it's down
Hello?
to us and
Okay.
two dead
Hello?
microphones. Weird. Well, can you hear
You
us?
guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
I can hear.
Okay,
Yes.
so you guys can hear me, as in Cindy, and I can hear Tony. Can you hear me?
Okay. Hello? No.
Oh,
Check.
no. Oh, no.
Well,
Tony, it's like
I guess
you
I
and
could
me.
tell you my story if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, okay, well, hopefully they'll be back real quick. So
God,
anyway,
I hope so, because they feel terrible.
yeah, so my other friend who went to camp during the summer and had met Matthew, and he came back to inform me that he met a guy that knew how to play Stairway to Heaven. Well, back then I was playing on some guitar, and I had just learned the solo to that, so it was like, you know, I couldn't believe it. And we were all going to the same high school that year, so we met, and sure enough, we got together, and he could play, and I could play the lead, and we started a band right then and there, and that's how we met. And over the years, we played quite a bit together. We did some really extraordinary gigs and had a lot of crazy times. And I'll say, after not seeing him for quite some time recently, when we got back together, he was playing guitar, and I had actually been playing bass and guitar with another group. And I said, well, I'll play bass. And so here we are, almost like flip-flopped our roles over a period of like 20 years or so.
Right.
And now I'm playing bass with Matt, and he's on guitar, and it's actually sounds really good.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Now, I see they're trying to call in. Let me see if I can try to connect them again.
Great.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me? Matt?
No, I can't. I can hear you, but can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. You can hear me?
Tony, you can hear everybody? Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay, we just the only one that's not on is Jimmy, right?
Right. Now we're back to us again. Oh my gosh. I don't understand. I thought this would be easy.
I gave a quick briefing on how you and Jeff met at camp and how you knew how to play Stairway to Heaven, and that's kind of how we met that year.
Yeah. So am I on? Are we?
Well, yeah, we just talked about how you guys had actually formulated a partnership with one another,
how we
clearly,
met.
and started playing with one another. Tony, I have an extra question for you.
Sure.
One of the things, besides playing guitar, obviously, or actually two of the things, I know that you're an audio engineer, and I also note that you play the accordion. I find that so cool. I never get anybody on the show that knows how to play accordion. That is pretty badass.
Yeah.
Do you still play? I mean, do you ever get to play, or would you play that with Vicious Kitty? I guess I assume that you don't.
I don't have one at the moment, and once in a while I run into a friend of mine that has one, and I periodically look for one, and so far I haven't found any that we want to purchase locally. But yeah, I can still play the thing, and I got to admit, I started on accordion for 5 years, and some of my first accomplishments, I guess, would be playing in an all-accordion band and some solo type stuff that we would go to competitions in the Northwest and up in Vancouver, Canada, and actually, have competitions. So I have some trophies and stuff for that. But it wasn't as cool as like a stringed instrument back,
Try to call in again. I'll pick up.
But I do appreciate it.
We can hear you. We can hear you. Here, I'm. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now. Okay. I've got Jimmy on the other line here. I'm going to call him back and just do a group call. So just keep me on there.
Okay. I'm leaving you on there. Okay. So as he does that, Tony, I guess that's the other part of it is the audio engineer part when it comes down to that stuff. For those that are listening in, I oftentimes get millennials or people that are first starting out in music. So talk to us a bit, because I deal a lot with filmmakers, obviously, and how important audio is as far as that goes. Music, obviously, I'm assuming is just as high up on there in terms of the engineering quality, et cetera. So when you guys put your music together, are you solely responsible for cleaning it up, becoming the sole engineer on this, or do you ship it out, or how does that
is everybody there?
work?
I think we're all here.
Yeah,
I'm here.
I can hear you.
Hey,
and to answer that question,
the business
are we all on? I need to hear somebody say a word so I know that I'm connected.
You are connected.
You are connected.
Oh, great. Okay. How's everyone doing out there tonight?
All right, Jimmy's.
Oh, my God.
We're
finally all here. We're all together now. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I was sitting there talking, and I started having a date with somebody, and then I found I was recording. Anyway, so
he's here.
So
he's here. Oh, God. Okay,
hey,
so Tony, we're going to have you talk. Yeah. Yes, we're going to have you talk about the engineering component, and then we'll get to Jimmy in a minute. Let's have you finish that.
Okay. Yeah, the engineer. I taught him everything he knows. Go ahead, Matt.
That's right. Back in the day, we didn't have all these fancy little push a button and see everything on the screen. We actually had to roll tape, buy tape, save up to buy tape, cut tape, and hope that splice was right where you wanted it. And, there's a lot of sweat accumulating during those processes for sure. But over the years, it kind of got a little better with the digital realm. And when Matt came to me with his, project movie and almost in the can with his post audio, that's when we kind of hooked back up. And I had just rebuilt my studio and had at the time all the newest.
And all of a sudden the magic started happening.
And we did the rest of the audio there, and just kind of formed a new relationship after some years off. And it's been an up and down thing, and I don't know, Matt, you want to talk about some of the audio we've been through on this project?
Well,
he'd rather talk about the live stuff coming up.
Yeah, I want to talk about a little bit. Yeah, that we ended up building the Vicious Kitty Studios out in Buckley, Washington, and we started recording, and that's where we actually recorded and mixed the Vicious Kitty EP, which is available on Amazon.
Yes.
And also, we shot a lot of video out here too in different areas. But it's we have the Vicious Kitty Studios now, so we're actually working on 2 new songs right now that we're gonna probably release probably beginning of summer. And it's all good. Life's good. Things are happening.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear, you guys. That's really good to hear. And what I need to find out is this drummer kid. I heard he's crazy. Tell me more about him.
So this is what I want to ask Jimmy, since he's finally on the phone. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay,
there you go.
Jimmy, there's a lot of hype about you. This is ever since I met Matt. This is what I've heard. This is all that I've heard about. It's kind of a one-man show. I think I almost feel like you're a one-man walking show in and of itself. Would you say that that's true?
Sometimes I act that way. Some people let me over. They go, "Why?" Because we want to start a party, and you're the first one that we call. I go, "What am I? Some kind of clown to you or something? Does that make you laugh?"
Okay. Anyway, I could just see this in public. You must gravitate a lot of attention. I imagine. Well, they were just telling me that people actually come to gigs to take pictures with you. That has to be really humbling, to be honest with you. That's going to be awesome to be appreciated for just visually who you are. You know what I'm talking about? Not just
I know. That's crazy. When I never go to Vegas with me down the strip. I'll tell you what. I should start charging for pictures. I swear. I go, "Who do you think I am?" "I don't know, but you just look cool." I go, "Okay, whatever, then party on."
We literally over the years have when various friends of mine and myself even, we've gone to concerts and such where there's a huge crowd. It's like, okay, well, where are we all going to meet up? Well, we'll meet up at Jimmy. Because we can see him from up in the stands.
Well, that's because I'm 6'5", so that kind of helps too.
And you can't miss him. It's perfect. So we all just.
I'm just missing the hat with the spotlight on it. That's it.
Oh my God!
It's shining so bright. You got to wear shades.
Oh my Lord!
Yes. Hey, so where are we calling at? Where are we calling at? Where are we in New York?
She introduced the whole thing. Where she's at, but.
I'm in Wisconsin.
I was at third base with the recording.
She was there last week.
I was there last week. I'm going back again. In 2 days, as a matter of fact, I'm headed back to New York City very soon. So I wanted to get this interview done, and I wanted to get all sorts of stuff.
So yeah, I heard you're the woman. I heard you're the woman about town. They Girl on the Go magazine. They took your picture for the cover, but all they had was the foot because you were leaving, and they couldn't get you because you were too much on the go. So they have your legs running out, and that's all they got of you on the magazine.
I'm a somewhat busy girl about town, so to speak. I tend to think that it's my clients that kind of overshadow me in a good way, which means obviously I'm kind of the girl behind the sidelines, and everybody else kind of gets to shine.
Hey, that's the
except
best.
for my show. It is the best, but I get to spotlight some of the best people on my show. So this is kind of my
You know what? The
signature
best
thing
people
when I
are
get,
like
when I
you,
get
and the
you in
people
my
on the
ear.
sidelines. They do all the work.
You think so?
That's the hard work. That's just like when we go play the gigs and stuff. My son and my nephew come and they just, you may have seen the pictures of our Vicious Kitty wagon, which is actually my son's car, which is it's a 1988 Lincoln Continental hearse, and without those guys, seriously, the show wouldn't go on. I
know those guys help a lot.
I just got to shout out to those guys. They make it
in the
happen
hearse.
for us. Yeah, right.
Because we need help a lot, but in that hearse, people aren't dying to get in there and help us. But
hey,
we
have some people that wanted their picture taken laying down in the back of it. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
My God. Okay. So now that I have all three of you, I'm gonna start with Matt, and then I'm gonna go straight down. Okay. So I have some very generalized questions that I would like answers from all of you. So first of all, Matt, I'll ask the general question, and then you can answer, and you guys can chime on in. Which is, I find that most of the time when I interview a musician, the number one thing they want to tell me is where they found that passion or that longing or that perpetual need to play music. Not so much a want, but an actual need. So if you could, share with your audience, each one of you, what drives you to want to be in the music industry over and over and over again, year after year after year? Because let's get real. We all know that in the creative arts, you're not raking in $1 million every year. You know what I'm saying? So you really have to be passion-driven. So tell us a bit about that. Definitely.
Well, it's funny. It's my earliest memories, really, as a kid were music. Music was just always a big part of it. My mom actually played piano, and I remember as a little tiker being out in the yard, and I would hear through the window. It would be like summertime, and I'd hear through the window. I'd hear her in the house. She'd fire up the piano and start to play and sing, and I would run as a little tiger with short little legs. I would run all the way into the house, so I'd stand next to her, watch her play and sing because I was just mesmerized by it. And it's been, like that for you. I got my first guitar when I was in the third grade. I got it for Christmas, and learned how to play Happy Birthday, and it's been all downhill from there. I've never been able to put it down since.
Oh,
wonderful.
Very cool.
I never knew some of that. Wow.
See what you learn when you come on radio? You ask the right question, you get the right answer.
The whole world opens up. Oh, boy.
90,000 people there, pal.
Tony, I think she's talking to you now, Tony.
Yes, Tony, I'm talking to you now. What drives you?
Well,
what makes you keep going on this rat race?
I would say my motivation is twofold. One, my mother, who, by the way, is from Wisconsin also.
Oh, I like you, Mom. I love you, Mom.
No, right outside of Green Bay there. And she played Carnegie Hall, so I would like to follow suit for sure. So that's one of my main motivations. And my other one is actually just the music that I grew up with, which was my oldest sister's albums that I would listen to when she wasn't around. And one was Goodbye Yellow Brick Road from obviously Elton.
Sure.
And I sounded just like him. I knew all the words, and then my voice changed. So now I don't sound like Elton anymore, but I know all the music and the words. But that was also my motivation, that and one particular song on Jesus Christ Superstar. So that is my motivation in the earliest
Very
forms,
cool.
for sure.
Now, Jimmy, before you answer,
Yes.
I have to tell you guys, someone is calling in to talk to you. So I'm going to put you on hold a second. I mean, you guys just stay there. Someone's calling in to talk to you. No, to talk to all of you. So just hang out.
Okay. Sounds
Hello.
good. Hey,
hello, Cindy.
Hello, Michael.
Okay.
What's up,
Michael?
What's up with you?
Yeah, hello, Vicious Kitty. Love you guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Good,
Talk to
good.
us and
Thanks.
work with us.
Yeah, thanks to Cindy. I've been acquainted with what you guys do, and I'm loving it. I saw your T-shirts in a movie recently, and we got to talk. I want to do likewise.
Oh,
Fantastic.
absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Well,
You
we're
do?
here to-
Tell us more.
New
Tell us more.
gear to
Tell
wear
us
on
more.
stage. So hey, yeah, we'll definitely let's get that together. Looking for
I'm. I need your blessing because I'm a little jealous. It's always when other actors are wearing cool swag in a film, you think, well, what is that? Where can I get one of those? And then just watching your stuff, your videos, and I'm a fan of your movie, Big Blue. I got to tell you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You guys really.
Fishy tail.
Yeah, Fishy Tail. The retro fineness.
Well, thank you very much.
It's
appreciated.
Yeah, it's kind of an important. Message, I think. Showing that America was kind of a happier, goofier country, and didn't take every life so seriously.
Well,
Don't take the world serious.
And that's in a way that's our message. Yeah, we have a serious side. Of course, very serious about working very hard at our music. And
when we're in court.
But
right.
we love to have fun playing it and doing it and taking people with us on that ride. I mean, you can kind of get our sense of humor just from watching our videos. On our YouTube channel, you kind of get that sense of, okay, these guys. We ride scooters in Bangkok. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Bangkok.
In fact,
Bangkok
Matt was.
City.
He was when we went to Bangkok. He was kind of a family man over there too, because he started about 5 families when he was over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyway, so
that was part of the tourist brochure, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, it was definitely not on the tourist brochure.
Public relations, if you will. Anyway.
Oh my God, is he a character or what? Okay, now since Michael is online, here's what we will do. And by the way, can I coincidentally say to everyone in my listening audience, how many of you women have 4 men in your ear all at one time? I'm very, very blessed at this moment that I have all of you here all at once. I'm very, very flattered. So, Michael, what I'd like you to do...
Right on. Hey, all pleasure.
Hey, Cindy, can we call you Coach?
No!
There you go. Yeah, you got a whole team going on here.
Hey, now, come on. This is a
basketball.
G show today, folks. So come on.
Oh,
Look,
G. Okay.
Yes, Jimmy.
Hickory
that means you can't swear.
Basketball.
Don't talk about anything.
Is it rated
Just
G
be
on?
good. Yes, we're on the G level today. I'm a child at home. Remember? Okay, so for the listening audience and for Jimmy and for Tony, because obviously Matt's acquainted with Michael, but the rest of the band is not. So, Michael, I'd just like you to introduce yourself, tell them who you are, how you know the band, and what you propose for them so that the boys are all in the loop. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Thank
A
you.
little less goofy and more specific. I've started a clothing apparel. I'm a professional actor by trade, which is why I love
going
you
out,
guys.
man.
Yeah, I love you guys in the movie because you guys and you guys aren't like professional actors and any of that nonsense. But you just know how to bring it and be yourselves and make it fun and make it happen. The story you're trying to tell, which is very important. You guys just nice and loose and just keeping it fun. But I have also launched the clothing line, and which is why I bring up T-shirts, perhaps right out of the gate. And part of what my company is all about is kind of like what Big Blue is about, what Vicious Kitty is about. It's toning it down for America, and a small way, our contribution to society and all that is just getting everybody to step off the ledge a little bit and be a little more lighthearted about everything.
Yeah.
Hopefully Cindy will hopefully Cindy will. Yeah, exactly. Most of this stuff, the world coming to an end does not affect us directly until it actually does come to an end. We got to live our lives and have a good time.
We're gonna party.
Oh my God! Why do I feel like I
party like it's 1999, only
right now?
2019.
God.
That's right. Let's party like 2019 is the end, right?
There you
No,
go.
don't say that. Don't put it out
We're
there.
almost
boy.
there anyway.
Big on the universe listening.
If we would have known we would have lived this long, we would have taken better care of ourselves.
That's
We're
right.
trying to know about
Well.
your closing line.
Why anticipate a long haul that may not happen? But to the point, that's why I want to do more with you guys. I want to showcase your stuff, your shirts, and my projects. I would absolutely love, maybe live shows, maybe in your next video. If maybe if you can showcase one of my shirts. I think we're of kindred minds on the message. And that that would just be very cool to get it, especially for you guys being a West Coast band. It would be very cool to get it.
Yeah,
totally.
absolutely. We definitely we love cross representation, and we're always on the lookout for the new look for Kitty.
Yes,
For the new look for Kitty, which we'll get into.
The new Catitude.
Catitude, I like it. And with any luck, we'll have all the snobs in Soho and Lower Manhattan wearing Vicious Kitty shirts and paying $50 a pop for it, right?
There you go.
Oh my God!
Hey,
listen to
down,
this.
down at Pike Place Market.
That's right. We're going to make Vicious Kitty very cool and very pricey. But
well,
absolutely.
and also, so you guys know, he is going to come to Washington with me because, as I mentioned at the top of the hour, we were doing this Film and Prox tour. So basically, we're going place to place to place, and so now we have not only the regular T-shirt line, and then we're doing an undergarment, we're doing hats, etc. But now he's actually going to be on a runway show with his children's wear. So now, literally, he's going to be at a fashion show showcasing his own stuff. It's very cool. I'm so proud of him. Very excited.
Good job, buddy.
I don't even like kids, but here we are. Huh?
Hey, we can have the Vicious Kitty
somebody else
right next to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Right?
They're great if they're asleep.
Oh, and by the way, on the other side of the coin, I would love to do a movie review of Big Blue, if you guys are down with that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, beautiful.
Excellent.
I'm a fan of the genre.
You can get your copy of the movie. As a matter of fact, I just sent you out some more copies, Cindy.
As a matter of fact, I have a box. I have another 10 movies in my living room of Big Blue Fishy Tail. So yeah, my job is to go sell the next 10, and then we'll keep selling the next 10 and the next 10 and the next 10 and the next 10. Maybe we could rent out Jimmy. I was just thinking maybe we could rent Jimmy out.
Yeah.
There's another asset.
Talk to me and work with me. I'm there.
Well, and just on a side note, just so everybody knows the tie-in with Big Blue Fishy Tail, it was a movie that a good buddy of mine and I produced, Big Blue Fishy Tail, and what happened was the music, some of the music from Vicious Kitty and other projects that I worked in are in the movie, and also Jimmy was the radio announcer in the movie. He was the radio.
I don't think I knew that.
Oh yeah.
I didn't really spark it up. I was supposed to be like, how's everyone doing now? We got a Fishy Tail coming up. Yeah, I just talked normally. But if I had to do it again, it would be different. So Big Blue 2 will be different, and it'll be more exciting, and we'll pump a couple more mil into that movie.
And then also Tony has a lot of music in it too that he had actually done on separate projects that was all part of the soundtrack. So that's how we all tie in to that movie. Just the contributions, to the movie. The whole band is actually tied with that, quite a bit. So its success is
wonderful.
Yeah.
It's terrific. When are you guys looking to get Big Blue 2 going?
Well, actually, we're editing we've got a documentary filmmaker who's actually making a documentary because the movie itself was a 20-year project. We shot it 20 years ago and didn't have
20 years ago.
20 years ago didn't have the means to actually edit it together. And when this about 2 years ago, we ran across a place that could transfer the film for us to digital. So we digitized the film, and now we put it all together, and released it after all that time. Well, now we have a documentary that's actually chronicling that, and also the big show that we did for the premiere of it with the band Vicious Kitty playing music from the movie. So that's going to be coming out. It's called The Search for Cheese Man, and it's the documentary about Big Blue, A Fishy Tale, and how it came to be.
Okay, nice. I tell you, if Orson Welles can, just put out a film like 40 years after his death, I don't think 20 years for you guys is so bad.
Sure, why not?
What's the hurry? What's the hurry?
People we're getting a really good reception on it, and the music still feels very, relevant and current. So, hopefully we're just, we're putting it out there and hoping everybody enjoys it.
Yeah,
sure.
Retro is
anticipation in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. But there's always an audience for retro of any kind.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it gets a little bigger, sometimes a little smaller.
I have a question for all of you folks, since all four of you are here. This is a really important question, obviously, because I was just thinking about this. First of all, actually, it's two questions. First of all, how ironic is it? Single guy on this show today, folks, is a client of mine. That's right. I work for all of them. Isn't that
Thank
wild?
you very much.
That's number one. So here's the question. I just want to know who should outrank who. Should Vicious Kitty be number one,
obviously,
and number two, or should we all play together in the pool? I think we should play together in the pool. That would be way off.
Well, we have a tendency to always dive head first without looking, so we don't really know who's going to hit first.
Brain damage.
Hope there's water in the pool.
Yeah, usually we bonk heads right about over the keg, but
that sounds like
there's a lot of brain damage in that pool.
That sounds like a triple dog dare.
Yeah,
exactly.
There you
Triple
go.
dog dare.
Okay,
don't
here's
stick
my
your
other
tongue
question.
out to the pole when it's cold.
To be honest, Cindy, getting us all together like this, I thought you were going to drop the axe and release all of us all at once. So thank you.
Well, actually, just
by the way, you guys
know.
are all kicked to the curb.
Just wanted to let you all call in front of 90,000 people. I can say bye-bye.
Now that's called a public shaming. Thank you, Cindy.
Yeah,
I have no reason for public
that's
shaming.
called
I'm
Vicious
sure
Kitty
she's
Show.
told.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Oh.
Rocking it.
Now, I have to say this all because Michael will not be on this line forever, so I'll just say it now. And just so your listening audience know this, because I talk about it all the time, and even though they don't know it, I am only as good as what surrounds me. And so the caliber of people on this phone right now makes my heart melt because, frankly, there's a whole lot of talent. There's a whole lot of true gentlemen on here. And I'm very proud and I'm very pleased. And I love you all. I think you're just absolutely lovely. So having said that.
Thank you.
How very true. Wait till the end of the show and you get your real surprise.
Yes.
Aww.
Yeah, hey,
you guys are so sweet.
It is.
Gosh, now I'm blushing.
We just really appreciate you, Cindy. Just so you know, it means a lot.
So much.
Yeah.
Have you.
I want to ask.
I've heard all good things.
We're the reason we keep. You guys are all the reason we keep going. We just taking it out there and having fun is. It's the best. It's the best.
Yeah. And
you were asking about how we started out too. And you were asking how we started out.
I'm getting a little
I started out
already.
on playing the Tupperware instead of the pots and pans. I started out on the Tupperware bowls. I could do a paradiddle on Tupperware bowls like nobody. And then I got to the windowsill and played the windowsill until I put so many dents in the windowsill that I said, then buy me a drum, buy me a snare drum, and this and that. So I had to play in school. I had to play the snare drum, rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat, until I got out of school. And then they wanted me to play in the marching band. And I said, you stepped in what? I said, I quit, and I got my drum kit and started playing after that and listening to drummers like Neil Peart play, and this and that. And then that's how I got it. I said, I want to get that good, and that's how, number 7, your pizza's ready? Anyway, and that's how I, started, and that's how I keep going, just
Thank you for sharing that.
Sounds like a great theme for your next video, breaking out the Tupperware again.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
Isn't he smart?
That's the kind of video that Vicious Kitty does. Come on.
Yeah, it is. That's actually right up
We
Matt's
will go
line.
there.
Absolutely. Now, Michael, before I forgot, and just so you guys know, here's my second question. Obviously, I'll ask you what I asked them, which is tell your audience or tell them as well how you got started in acting. And then, Vicious Kitty, I want you to answer this question. Here's our poll question for the show today. I have an actor that I know that did a black and white movie, and it's completely silent. He doesn't speak in it at all. So here's my question to you, Vicious Kitty, because you guys are a little bit older and a little bit wiser. Would you go watch a silent film for 15 minutes where the main actor said nothing but said everything without saying one word, meaning literally, visually, and otherwise? Would you go see that? Would you be
of course. I'd do it.
Oh, yeah.
Was that 15 minutes or 3 hours, 15 minutes?
Well, I watched him for 3 hours. I don't think anyone else, I mean, maybe no one else would, but I would sit and watch him for 3 hours. Just saying.
I don't think I'd watch I wouldn't watch myself for that long.
If it was,
but no, we'll
take the mirrors out and you'll be fine.
And I know it'd be entertaining, so.
Yeah.
Well,
it'd be entertaining, so it'd be worth a watch.
I'll bring the Stroh's 30. I will bring the Stroh's 30 pack to the screening, so you won't be thirsty. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's exactly right.
Well,
there you go. So that's the question,
mean,
Michael. How did you get started?
Oh gosh, that's the usual. Just the late show, watching noir films and gritty black and white. Burt Lancaster and Brute Force. That was a prison movie. That was my big breakout movie where I was like, oh, what is this all about? And like with all the arts, music, whatever, just something grabs you and you just become a little obsessed with it. You're just a kid picking your nose, trying not to get beat up on the playground, and this other side of you just speaks to you, and you keep thinking about it, it just pulls you in. And and I'm not to go around the horn about it, but you just keep coming back to it and you pursue it, and then eventually you learn how to make it your life's work.
Right on.
And he's done well.
Yeah,
and you do it. Great. That's good that you're staying with it. That's perfect. Never say die.
As far as watching a movie, a silent movie, the whole part, the essence, a lot of times is great lines, saying these great lines, and that's what people usually remember. But what's really great is the delivery, and the delivery is visual, and that's where films are. That's the beauty. Mm-hmm. That's why I always wanted to make a film as a kid, and that's why I ended up making Big Blue, because to see that. And to put it up there on a screen, it's immense. It's huge. And then you throw music behind it, and the emotion, and there's a silent film can say a plethora of words. It doesn't have to. You don't have to have all these lines to fill up the space. That's the beautiful thing of it.
Absolutely. Music is very similar to films in that. I think Miles Davis said it's not the notes, it's the pauses in between that count. And I just thought that's probably the most cinematic thing that I've ever heard a musician say. And it's spot on.
The silence can hit you like a hammer. That's the beautiful thing about it.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. See what I mean? So thank you for answering that question. I appreciate that. But no, I knew that he would be calling in to offer this to you because I was like, well, if you've ever listened to my show, that the surprises kind of come and go. And I'm always big on surprising my guests with all sorts of things. So he's just one of a few different things you guys have coming since we're all finally together in the same room at the same time. It's easier to reach him than it is to reach you guys, by the way. That's pretty sad.
They're worse than me.
We all reach out and talk to each other.
Got crazy schedules, and that's I mean,
we
we were just in New York last week. I mean, we're bouncing around.
Yeah, everybody's got to make the donuts,
Yeah, we do. Exactly. We all actually do. Absolutely. So I guess this means I got to keep all of you for a while longer then. That means nobody's getting the axe. There you go. I said it on radio.
Oh, well, there you go.
Not firing anyone.
We're sticking around. We're sticking around like a rash, right, Cindy?
Well, I was just going to say the thing is, the difference between Vicious Kitty and Michael is I've literally quit on Michael probably 17 times. I've said I quit. I said I'm done.
You quit this morning. You quit earlier today when we were on the phone this morning.
Yeah, just this morning.
I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not doing this.
Sorry.
Oh,
You're not
yeah,
counting right.
So I told her you can only quit me in person, so she's got to wait a couple days, and then she'll quit again.
Well, there you go.
I do. I have to wait. I'll fly there, and then when I get to New York, we're on a red carpet on Wednesday night, so I could be on the red carpet with him and lean over and be like, "I'm sorry, I quit." See how it's going to do my thing.
Oh,
I can't get the movie Duel out of my head.
No. Not at all.
You know what we should do?
It's like George Costanza on Seinfeld. He quit and told the boss off, and the next morning he goes back to work, and they go, "What are you doing here? You quit." He goes, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Did I say something? Did I say something bad?" Right. Yeah, you said the boss, the F you and stuff like that. But
I guess I would be doing. I guess I would have to do a reverse George Costanza. I would just presume that Cindy didn't quit and just keep sending her work-related emails and calls.
There you go.
Constantly, literally constantly.
Like, oh, I guess you didn't get the memo.
That's right.
Thank you. Well, I think we've deduced here that basically I'm kind of inseparable. I'm inseparable to all of you. You all make me look very, very good. And as I mentioned, again, at the top of the hour when anyone was listening, hopefully, that, I am only a reflection of what's around me. So I can't possibly leave such wonderful people who make me look good all the time. I'm perfectly content standing behind you all. And so,
well,
excellent.
I got
our pleasure.
No, we do. We really appreciate everything you're doing for us, Cindy.
I got to say, Cindy, you really got a handle on how to conduct this lousy entertainment industry with humor and integrity and charm. And for what it's worth, Vicious Kitty and I, we want to keep you.
Excellent.
Now I'm going to cry. Interview over. She's crying now. Thanks, not boys. It's
it can't be over. The party ain't over till it's over. So, we don't end.
Well, I can see that clearly. It's kind of like Cher. She just doesn't go anywhere. But I think what will happen is Michael, what I will do is I will patch in Michael with all of you collectively together so that this way all of you can plot out and plan all of your little things together, and then, it'll be kind of off of the PR's plate and onto your plate, and you guys can put this together. But we are going to, our goal is to get to Washington in May at the latest, and then this way we'll get to finally see you guys in person and get a game plan for the surprises that you get at the end that we have to deal with, which I haven't told you yet because we haven't gotten that far yet. And the next time we do this, let's do it live. I think we should get a studio. And, in fact, when we come to Washington, let's do this. Write this down, Michael, because you'll need to remember this one. When we come to Washington, I will find a spot for us, and we will do a live interview, and we'll broadcast it. We'll literally do a live broadcast of your company and your band and me right in the middle of all of you. It's a lot easier to control all of you if I'm in one room with you. Literally. I'm just saying. There's a lot of guys here right now, so it's a little tough.
That's tough for just flying around.
Put me in,
Coach. How big I was blushing right now. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a lot to handle. There's a whole lot of ego here right now. And there's a whole lot of talent here right now. It's hard because there's so much that, there's so many things that you could go here with. And obviously, of course, Michael's a little over 40, so I'm sure he can tell you that he remembers the days back in the 80s and the 90s, et cetera, and that good stuff. But one of the coolest parts about your band, and I know Michael has said the same thing, is that your music is just so very out of the ordinary. Well, extraordinary isn't the word I tend to use, but you purposely make it sound different from, like, for instance, Bangkok City, when you guys have got that. It literally is toned to that culture. You know what I mean? You've tweaked it and made it sound very, very culturally cool is what I call it. That's like my favorite. Bangkok City one, which we'll play. It's like my favorite, absolute favorite. Michael, do you have a favorite song of theirs?
That would definitely be one of them. I have to skedaddle, unfortunately, but I'll leave you with this. Speaking of the 80s, on the way to my car this morning, I saw, not to make a guilt by association, but I literally saw by the car on the ground about a dozen spent, and for some reason it took me back to the 80s, and I said, I got to call Vicious Kitty today.
There you go.
Cool. So, guys, on that cheerful note, yes, I will say sayonara. But, yeah, we definitely got to do, Cindy, I'll be very much looking forward to hearing more about it, something live and, involving all of us.
Absolutely.
And, just wow the crowd,
Yeah, that sounds
good.
That sounds good.
Okay. Hey,
excellent.
Good talking to you, Michael.
Okay, pleasure, guys.
We'll be hooking up very soon. We'll soon. We'll get this together.
Excellent. Ciao, Cindy. Ciao,
and we'll
ciao,
see you on the
Vicious
silver screen, too.
That's right.
Yes, on the silver screen. Bye.
Ciao.
Okay, folks. Sorry about that. I just had to interject him into that. And isn't he just?
Oh no, that's fantastic.
That's fine.
He's a guy.
Oh yeah.
All right, back to you guys because I get to talk to him
cool.
regularly.
Yeah, he's got a lot of
Thank
really cool stuff going on. So I've been kind of
there is. There's a lot happening.
We can find his line on your blog then.
Say that again, Tony. I'm sorry.
Excuse me?
I'm just trying to so I could look at his clothing line. I wasn't quite clear.
Sure. It's MG Frocks. It's at the beginning I had mentioned mgfrocks.com, or if you type in the two letters MG and then Frocks on Facebook, that'll pull up the page on Facebook, and that'll lead you to the website, and then that'll tell you basically his background, etc. And then, of course, like I said, we're partners. So he is the founder, of course. So I'm kind of, partnered in this. So everywhere he goes, I kind of go. So we work at it together in terms of developing all the different lines, of course. And then I'm adding a shirt in the line, etc. And of course, it also gives you background on his acting experience because he's been an actor. Oh God, he's done what 41, 42 films now. So he's been around for a while now, New York City based. Oh, yeah. So, obviously, of course, he's in New York, so he's in the hub of entertainment, which works out nicely. And he himself actually plays an instrument. We didn't get to get into that, but, yes, he actually plays the horn, trumpet.
Oh, really?
He does. Yes, he does. Yes, in fact, he's going to be playing on our last movie that we did, so I'm very excited about that. Speaking of the last movie we did, let's talk about that. Here's another surprise, because I'm too excited not to mention it, but Vicious Kitty music will be appearing in 100 Looks of Love. It will be appearing in the last movie we just did, which is A Lifesaver, and it will be in the motorcycle documentary I'm doing, which is Saddlebag Stories. So you guys are now in three movies. Wow.
All right.
I'm very excited about
Wow.
that. Well, it's kind of cool. It's the kind of thing that you do when you're able to do it, and the music fits, and it's wonderful. However, the other day, I have to laugh. So clear this up. Did you guys know that there is a 4-piece female band in Plymouth, Wisconsin called Vicious Kitten? Were you aware of that?
Oh,
I was
really?
like, they're all four. You guys, three guys. They've got 4 girls. Did you know?
Yes,
Okay.
you know about Kitten, but that's
I didn't know that.
Kitty. That's not Vicious Kitty. And that's the thing. We
Vicious
have that alone. I did an extensive check back when we were actually forming this thing. I did an extensive check to find out if there was anybody out there that was Vicious Kitty, and there wasn't. There was, and they have been. They've been around for a while, but it's Vicious Kittens, and it's an all-girl band, and there's a different style of music too, and so I don't really see any, kind of clash with that. I really don't. I think
of course not.
We have our own thing going on, and but yeah, I did an extensive.
I don't think there will be. There shouldn't be a cat fight about that one.
No, absolutely not.
Right.
It's just cool. I was like, oh my God, there's another band that sounds similar to you guys. Guys are all boys, obviously. I was like, hey, that's kind of cool. And they're in Wisconsin, so I was like, that's awesome.
Next year.
You'll all do it together. You'll be like, oh, look at that. Vicious Kitty, Vicious Kitty. How cool is that? That would be kind of cool, actually. I wouldn't mind that. Okay, now, since I brought up Bangkok City, I cannot wait any longer. So, one of you do an intro into that. We'll spend the next 4 minutes letting you rest for a second, and I'll play Bangkok City. So, let's do a little intro into where that song came from, and talk to me a bit about the response you've gotten. So,
it was kind of formed. We had the idea rolling around, and we jammed on it more than a few times, and I was having a lot of trouble coming up with a chorus for it. It just I couldn't really find anything that really fit, and it was actually my wife, Janine, who actually came up with. She well, what about this Bangkok City? Oh my gosh, that's it. That's the chorus, and then so once that jumped in, then Jimmy comes up with this amazing intro thing, doing with the cowbell, and then it led into the part, and then boom, there was the song. It just fell together after that. Once we had that, okay, oh, this is it. We're life's dreary and rainy, and here we are, Buckley, Washington, and we just got to get out of here. We got to go to Bangkok City.
Oh my God!
That's where that really came from.
And you know what I've noticed
gosh.
live is the ones that people sing along to are Bangkok City and I think Bohemian Rhapsody.
Ah, yeah.
We don't play that one.
So what?
Oh yeah, that was a different
that's
show.
not
I was
really
singing.
song.
Oh, that was a different show you did, huh?
No, I was
Let's
singing
roll it over there.
alone. I wasn't there.
So anyway, so that's where
Oh
the
my
Bangkok
God.
City came from. That's the history behind that song, and you know, it literally snowballed.
Oh my gosh, this is too funny.
That's,
All right.
that's why
On
we
that
like
note,
TV.
I'm gonna let you guys rest for 4 minutes. You folks can listen into Bangkok City. Check this out, folks.
Sitting in a backseat, thinking how life's a drag, holding the soles of my boots, my clothing to hang, dreaming of something besides this dreary rain, trying to forget you hurt me, and trying to keep from going insane. You can't tell me that my dreams are gonna die. You can't hurt me once I get to paradise. Bangkok City, where I can drive the blues away. Bangkok City, getting high down by the bay. The town seems dismal. Without you, I'm lost. I told you all the dreams I had. To leave behind the cold and the frost. It never left me. This feeling I have to go. A mythical place beyond the ocean. To Bangkok, I gotta go. You can't tell me that my dreams are gonna die. And you can't tell me all that shit that I won't buy. Bangkok City, where I can drive the blues away. Bangkok City.
like that one. That's just my personal opinion. But I'm a little biased, I'm sure of it, like totally. Okay, so now I'm so glad that I got a chance to play that. So that gives you guys that are listening in, the listening audience, a sense of who I'm talking to and what sort of caliber of music they have if you've never heard Vicious Kitty before. So I'm going to start with Matt, and I have 2 questions for you, and then actually 3 questions for you, and then we'll move on to Jimmy because these are more specified questions. One of the things that I want to ask you, Matt, is, of course, most people don't know that you have been on tour with some recognizable names before, Night Ranger being one of them, along with many others. So whenever I talk to a musician about having toured with someone who's more famous or recognizable, does that kind of up your ante a little bit, or does it intimidate you at all, or how does that make you more polished, so to speak? Because oftentimes musicians will say to me, well, wow, if I'm touring with so-and-so, it really makes a difference in how I play, my overall disposition, etc. Does that ring true for somebody like yourself as well?
Well, it really does. You want to bring your A game, you know, and I think it goes back to the old adage that, you know, you surround yourself with people that lift you up, that you know, make you aspire to the best you can do and best you can be. And really it is when you're playing around that caliber of people and musicians in particular. You know, it was, you know, just like we did this last show with Darby's Picnic. I mean, some of these guys are great blues musicians. Wow, you know, and it's just very cool because you just kind of get, you know, the guitarist goes, oh, hey, you're playing a Gibson Studio, you know, this and that. Oh, I love the sound of that. You know, you have this affinity. And what's funny is most of these people are they're just down-to-earth musicians. You know, they're just doing what they love, and they're just happy that they get to do it. Really, most of them. And it's very cool to be in that you know, realm and to be part of that. It's very cool.
Oh, I imagine so, definitely. And of course, secondarily, obviously, I know that you play the guitar. The audience know if you have other abilities as far as that goes. And if you had not have been a musician, what would you have ended up being? I was curious.
Oh, well, yeah. I actually, well, as Tony was talking about earlier, when we first got together, I was back then, I was playing guitar, and I started playing guitar, but back when Tony and I formed our first band, and we actually put out a CD, it was a band called Cry Action. I played bass on it, and I've played bass in bands since then. You know, a lot of different bands, Sea City Dolls. I actually still play as a kind of a fun side gig with a band. It's a surf punk band, Blank. And all I do is I go there and I play bass, and it's for me it's really fun because I'm not so under pressure to be, you know, the front man and that. I just get to be the bass player. So to me it's just a blast. You know, it's just a fun thing that I get to do. What's the second part of your question?
Oh, no, the second part being, of course, obviously, if you hadn't have ended up being the guitar player, let's say that you weren't playing guitar, you weren't a musician, and that wasn't your life's work, what would you have ended up doing? Did you give any thought to something else? You know, would you have ended up being a mailman or?
No. Over the years, I've been, you know, with all kinds of regular jobs, but I loved actually being a carpenter. I loved building stuff. What was kind of funny is in the movie Big Blue, and it'll actually come out in the documentary because we talk a lot about how we shot that movie and everything because we didn't have any money to do it. We were basically, you know, just out of pocket. We built all our dollies. We built all our mounts for the camera to put on the truck. I was described as a mad scientist at one point by the lead actor, Glenn Graham. I love building stuff. I always have a project going. One of the projects I usually have going to Jimmy's drums. We just had to replace a bolt on one because it literally flew off in the middle of the show, and Jimmy still rocked. It was amazing. It was like a bolt flew off. He's like just still jamming along. And but yeah, I'm sure I'd still just be, you know, building things. That's, you know, I do that anyway.
Very, very cool. Yeah, well, obviously, yes, I figured that, but I was just curious. You know, sometimes people have this huge, you know, there's a huge difference between, I eventually ended up being this or this or this, and they just kind of veer off in a different direction. You know, you have a dream, you have a passion, they give up, they go somewhere else, that sort of good stuff. So thank you for that. All right, Jimmy, I have some questions for you. what is the experience like? Because you've gone to Honolulu to play with different musicians. I know you've done an Alaska tour gig before, obviously, so you have been all over the place. Tell me a bit about what makes you want, back in the day, I'm assuming, because you're a little bit older, you don't do it as much now. But what is it like to be touring in all these exotic different places? And what's the coolest thing outside of the obvious, which is going place to place to place? I assume that you grab a big crowd that you're still holding to this day. Does that make sense? Meaning, have you got some loyals that go with you everywhere, even though you're not traveling so much anymore?
Are you there, Jimmy?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I think we lost Jimmy. It still says he's on the three-way call. Okay, you go ahead
Tony,
and talk. Okay,
switch to you.
Talk to Tony. I'm going to try to get a hold of Jimmy. Let me try to get a hold of him.
Okay, so Tony, we've got a couple different questions for you. Obviously, of course, first thing I want to ask is, oh my God, I have to ask about the Seafair because you were among dancing and drinking. Am I wrong?
That was pretty cool. It was, actually we weren't quite sure because the same person that booked that gig, like, I believe it was right before that, booked us where we were doing a venue in an area where the only white people were us on stage, and we were doing Aerosmith and stuff like that back then.
Sure.
And the thing that got me was, what the heck? No one was really digging what we were playing. Yeah, is this Jimmy?
Yeah,
anyway,
so we can hear. Check 1, 2.
And then everybody liked it and started dancing, and so since then we didn't really know what to expect, but we pulled off some pretty amazing gigs. But when we walked onto that beach and they said, yeah, set your stuff up on that flatbed, and you could see the pirates were offshore heading in, and there's thousands of people on the beach. We're like, now this is pretty cool. And I honestly, cool. I can't think of another one that they did that type of thing since. And that was, do you remember them doing that after that one year?
Yeah. Well, they have different bands, but never anything quite like what we did. It was like a concert down there. It was crazy. Yeah, there was
right.
There's probably 10,000 people down the whole beach of Alki. It was a beautiful sunny day. It was just amazing. I think Jimmy's back on now. Jimmy,
can you hear me over there, you guys?
I can hear you now. Can you hear us? Okay, good deal.
Yeah,
well,
I
let
was
me finish with Tony and then we'll switch back.
I was born a poor child and this and that, and about 10 minutes later I was going, hello? No one heard me. So I was doing my own interview to myself. It was me and my cat Kiki doing an interview to ourselves.
Oh, my gosh. Well, Mike, I'm all right. Tony, I have another question for you, and then I'll skip back over to Jimmy again. The other question is, and I know that you had the good fortune of performing, obviously, inside the offices of Home Box Office, HBO, to those of you that may not know. Now, that's a huge prop right there, in and of itself. First of all, that takes some very, very clever maneuvering, I'm going to guess, because not everybody can score a gig like that. And moreover, talk to us a bit about that in terms of now we live in the world of 2019. I'm guessing the gigs like that might be more and more possible for you fellas now, right? Things are a little more liberal and loose about where they allow music to be played, et cetera. So does doing things like that open up more opportunities for you to be more liberal in terms of expediting gigs of that nature in the future?
I hope so. I mean, I don't see why they would prohibit music anywhere, to tell you the truth. And so the gigs I've played were in some of the strangest places, or maybe not strangest, but obscure, like, Oktoberfest up in the mountains. That's always a really wonderful weekend. But anyway, I'm hoping that we can play basically like a lot of outdoor stuff this summer. We're working on possibly doing something at the Puyallup. I'm talking to a guy about that before it gets too late to book something, this fall going, and everything pops in between. And I have two hands, a guitar in one, an amp in the other. I'm ready to go.
Uh-huh. Oh, that is so cool, as a matter of fact. Well, and that's my other question to you is, obviously, you played in an office, you played on a beach, you played, obviously, in these regular gigs. So, Tony feels most at home. Like, where would the ideal gig be for you? Like, if Matt said, I'll book anywhere you want to go, where would that look like? Because every musician's got their own idea of that, don't they?
Probably if I was thinking of this area, I would probably have to choose the Key Arena. It would probably be my favorite venue around here.
No.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I've heard music in about every building, old and new, and I don't know, I like the acoustics. As a matter of fact, the old Kingdom, I believe Pink Floyd's the only band that sounded good in there that I recall. And that's saying a lot.
Peter Frampton, I saw him. It was like an old Japanese movie. It was bouncing off the wall, his mouth was moving, and it was 2 minutes later, by the time I hit the roof of the Kingdom, that's where I was sitting. But anyway. But yeah, Tony, you're right.
Very cool. Well, thank you for that, Tony. I was just curious about that. That brings us to Jimmy now. Okay, so Jimmy, I'm going to rephrase the same question I had before since you missed it, which is obviously.
Sorry, I was answering.
No,
anyway, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I was saying you have been on an Alaskan tour gig. You've been to Honolulu to play with different musicians. You've obviously toured with 4 different bands in 7 years. This is my question. When you go to different places like this, I'm going to gather that, number one, you've built yourself your own following, you know what I mean, in terms of just over the years. Is there an advantage to playing in places? I've never been to Hawaii. I've never been to Alaska. I imagine that's like kind of off the grid. So I'm like, what would propel you to want to go there? Were you like 20-some years old and like, I'm gonna go kind of live and experience and do everything? How did that come to you?
You know what? When I moved there, and I got a job. They don't like when you move there because you're a haole to them, and if you don't even think about meeting one of the local guys' sister or something like that, you'll have a gang of Samoans all over you. But yeah, it was hard at first, and then I was a photographer at Turtle Bay Hilton. Got a job there by chance. My aunt was a human resources or whatever it's called. She got me in. But anyway, then I found this band there. There was a local band, and they had this drummer, but he didn't know how to play. And when I said, "Can I sit in with you guys?" And I sat in with them, and they freaked out, and they said, "You're in." And we started playing all these places in Hawaii. But the thing we're skipping there is there's so many local people. Until they get to meet me, another Holly syrup bomb, this and that. Then I started getting in demand there, and I could play. I was playing big old Hawaiian guys, and then a blonde drummer in the back. But they got used to me and started liking me, and they didn't like it when I left. But the reason I left is because a band sent me a tape and this and that, and they go, "Jimmy, we need you. We're signed. You got to come back here." And so I didn't want to quit. I had a good thing going. And they kept begging me, and they sent videotapes and this and that. With even stage in the background. They go, "This is your stage. Your drums will go right here. Please come. We're signed. We need you." Because I used to be in the band with a couple of. So I moved back from Hawaii, and everything was going good for 2 months. And then the guitar player got a divorce. The singer was he had LSD, lead singer's disease, and everyone started falling apart. And so I moved back from Hawaii to rock in a band in Seattle, and it fell apart. And that was then when I wanted to move back to Hawaii, it was too late. Everything was the expenses, and so anyway, I'm glad I met the guys here, or else I wouldn't have met Tony and Matt, and started what we did. And that's one of the things I did. Then when I was touring Alaska, when I was touring Alaska, it was I only liked it in the summertime because I like warmth, and unless you're Eskimo, I couldn't stand there. Yeah, you could hang your hat off of them. It was so cold. Anyway.
Oh my God. All right, now I got to ask this question of all three of you, because anytime I post up a radio show and I talk about them having people on, and in particular musicians, because you guys gravitate attention almost as much as actors and other people do. So here's the magic question for all of you, which is, I'm sure some of the ladies who have approached me have asked, are they single, are they married, what's their status? So let's go down the line and fill them in and break their hearts, because I'm guessing that you're almost all married, yes? I know this answer.
Well, this is Jimmy,
you can answer.
and no, I'm not married. Never have been married, but I've had a lot of friends and stuff. But I'm kind of like living with somebody now, so I'm kind of a little bit, but no ring on the finger yet. But so the ladies, we can be friends.
Tony. What
Yeah,
about you, Mr. Tony?
Yeah, I'm kind of been single also. I do have a better half of that is pretty much a homebody at this time. She, of course, some issues we've been dealing with medically, and I do have a daughter and a grandson, and
oh my gosh.
And I did want to mention that when I heard Jimmy's story about, coming back from Hawaii, I got to say this. When I first came out to play with him and Matt again, he came and picked me up, so we were carpooling, and I was GPSing, this Buckley address, and we ended up out beyond the range of the thing.
We
so
drove
we got lost
to almost the Mount Rainier, almost.
Yeah, we ended up on a pleasure ride out in the country for like 40 minutes. But it was,
So we got to relate and made the rhythm section tighter. Just the bass and drums got to be the backbone of the band. So we got really tight, cruising around all the way, almost climbing Mount Rainier, and but yeah, that was our trip, our first trip to go see, and then it all was magic from there. Tony got on his bass, and Matt got on the guitar, I saw the drums, and all of a sudden it just came together. Like we're kind of all veterans at what we do, so it was easy to follow each other, and we just can look at each other and pretty much know what we're going to do next and stuff like that. So that's the magic of how we got together, kind of.
Kind of like that movie, we can do it all without talking, and we know what we're saying. It's pretty good.
Oh, look at that. Well, and I don't want to forget to mention this. I forgot to ask you, Matt. Tell everybody about Bill Nye the Science Guy. Oh, my gosh. We have to talk about Bill Nye.
Oh,
because that guy is weird.
Well,
he's a little weird to begin with. That whole Bill Nye thing is weird.
Just want to say, actually, I'm the one that is my wife. We dated when we were 16, okay, and then she dumped me.
Aww.
Okay. And then we went off.
I'm sorry.
And literally, this is a funny thing. I have a 21-year-old son. She has a 21-year-old daughter. They were born 6 hours of difference. So we were actually apart having kids together.
Oh,
and
my
gosh. And so,
that sounded kind of weird.
I've married her. She's my love of life. What can I say? She's really, behind me, and one of the reasons that I was able to put this whole thing together, as far as, just keeping and redoing the movie and everything, I got to give a lot of credit, to the fact that, somebody's got to keep me sane. So, to answer that question.
Oh, man, I never knew that. That's the same
Matt,
when
you get the rose, okay? You got it.
Yeah, what can I say? When you get lucky, you got to roll with it.
But that's sweet, though. That's really, because I do find that in our industry, oftentimes you get a mixed bag. Like sometimes I don't think people really realize how crucial it is to have somebody in your corner. And in this case, especially when, gigs, I go see musicians all the time. You're playing to like 7 people in a room, and you're like, dude, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? I think support is crucial, especially when you don't always have, a sold-out crowd all the time, and especially when you're competing, against so many different people to try to accomplish something. So, kudos to you. I think that, and I say this all the time, I have the utmost of respect and adoration for musicians and actors and anyone in the creative arts that's really trying to do it. And you keep doing it. You keep going. You keep booking. You keep, continuing to try to get your stuff out there, obviously. And I also noticed you guys have been, like, for instance, obviously, Tony and Matt have been back and forth together, obviously. Jimmy, I know that you joined the band in 2015. So have you guys ever considered advancing the band, meaning adding 2 more members or an extra member? Would that make a difference? Does that make a musician, I don't want to say more marketable, but do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, do they gravitate to bigger bands sort of stuff, at least in your area?
Well, actually, when Jimmy and I, because Jimmy and I were the ones that kind of got together and started putting something together out here. Once I put the studio together out here, I was okay. Let's get something going. And so I got a hold of Jimmy. Jimmy came out and started jamming with me. Well, we ended up picking up our old bass player from a band called the Slut Puppies that we played in.
Right.
Back in the day. And Chucky, who great guy. Chucky, he actually came to our gig on Saturday. We got to see him. He come down.
Yeah, I love him.
Out with us. And he was playing bass. And then actually my old guitarist, Bodine, from way back in the day when I was in high school, Tony had gone and formed another band, and I had a lead guitarist. His nickname's Bodine. His real name's Mike Wilson. He was actually coming out and jamming with us, so we actually had a 4-piece to start this thing out with. But it was, Chucky was coming all the way from Arlington, which is like a 2.5-hour drive.
It was unbelievable.
Bodine lived in eastern Washington, so he would actually literally drive out here for a gig, and so it just got too hard for him, and obviously, and then like I think Tony told you a story about how it was like he was jamming in another band playing bass, but he'd always play guitar for me, and so once it got too hard for Chucky, it was like I was going, oh, what are we going to do? We need a bass player. And, I'd been kind of talking to Tony, and we had kind of hooked back up. And so, well, I'm playing bass in this other band. I'll go play bass with you. Okay. So boom, and then the thing is the way it's come together now. I mean, we're of course open to, especially jamming with other people, and when as we're doing the recording and everything else, you bring in people, to do backups or add things to the music itself. But it's just at this point we're just going out and playing 3-piece and just having fun with it, and it seems to be working.
Oh, absolutely. And not only that, I know that you were nominated for the Indie Music Awards. So did they make a final decision? I don't think you gave me a status on that because you can't vote any longer.
Independent Music Awards, there's like 1 day left or something to vote. And the 20. It may be over at this point. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was just the voting was just getting in, so we haven't really heard any results yet. But I know I want to thank everybody that did go online and vote for us for the Independent Music Awards. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, certainly, without a doubt. And how was I know that you guys played this last weekend, so how did the show go this last week?
Oh, yeah. It actually went really good. The management, we had set this up through
people loved it. It was so good. We couldn't believe how the response of the audience.
Well, yeah, we had actually set it up through Stacy Oster, Rock Mama Management, and the management approached us and said, well, hey, you guys, we want you back. We love you guys. You got to come back. And so they approached us, and that was me going through Stacy, and we really appreciate her setting up the gig for us. And then, as it turns out, someone else had another gig in a big. They actually work at a big bar in Linwood that has live music, and because of that, now they want us to play there too. So it's
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. Just like I said, the snowball starts rolling downhill, and it's like you got to run to keep up. So yeah, it went really well, and we're playing this Friday night down at O'Malley's in Tacoma. So we played the North End last weekend, playing down at O'Malley's in Tacoma this weekend, coming up Friday night. So with 420 Smokers.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. I want to bring up the merchandise component because obviously I know you've had buttons, you've had T-shirts, you just had a revamp, and I just saw that new image. Oh, my God, I'm in love with that image. And I know I can't describe it, but obviously you're all listening. I'm very, very proud of that. That is really, really awesome. Whose idea was it to come up with that? Like, who came up with the idea?
I love that, yeah.
Well
Matt got a friend that did it.
Matt did a lot of the the hustling to get that artwork done for sure.
Yeah, well, and we have our general artwork that we have on the website. You can see it, on www.thisIsKitty.band. And we've got, as far as merchandise, we've got T-shirts and buttons and stickers and CDs available on the website. And what we're going to do is as we're expanding, I happen to find this amazing artist. His name's Pork, and he ended up drawing this cat, which is just, it's just awesome. And so what we're actually going to do is we want everybody to sign up on our blog on thisIsKitty.band, because we're going to have a contest to name the new kitty. And you'll win like T-shirts and a CD and a Big Blue DVD and button and some stickers. There's going to be like a grand prize for naming the new kitty, which we're going to release after this next show. So in about 2 weeks, we're going to release this. We're going to actually put this kitty out there, our new kitty, and then we're going to go ahead and put together the merchandise relating to it, the new T-shirts and new artwork to make that available. But yeah, we're going to have a Name the Kitty contest.
Oh, that's
This is
awesome.
the biggest event since the Seahawk franchise.
There you go. See, Seahawks did it. We can do it too.
Oh my God, that is too cool. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, I forgot we didn't get to elaborate on something, and I wanted to interject this because I don't want to forget about this. Obviously, we want to go back to talking about Big Blue A Fishy Tale, because obviously we kind of talked about it a little bit, and I want to give a background to the listening audience. Just so you guys know, the original filming was done in 1998. It's called Big Blue A Fishy Tale. Obviously, of course, your first public screening was in September 1st at the Chalet Theater, of course. And
yes.
I want you to tell the audience a bit about, because obviously most of them are not necessarily in filmmaking, so they're thinking, okay, if they did it in 98, what's going on with this? So tell us a bit about how you've got to the point where you are right now, and then more importantly, of course, give us the current status, because I know that we have the update you mentioned before, of course, and the status of the soundtrack songs. Did you ever finish and complete those? Because I don't think I asked you about that.
The finish of the what now? Say that again?
The soundtrack.
Soundtrack.
Did you completely finish the soundtrack?
Actually, we're putting that together right now. The soundtrack's going to be added to it.
Right.
Have it. It actually has its own. It actually has its own website, which is bigblueafishytale.com, all one word.
Yeah.
And what it is like I say, we did a premiere screening where we showed the movie. And we played, as a band, several songs, quite a few songs, out of the movie, and then some of our new material that we've released, too, since then.
Right.
So what we've got going on with that is we're just moving forward. The next step will be we're going to get on the website. There's a movie trailer on it. It's distributed through Vimeo, and it's actually right now on Amazon Prime, so you can actually watch it on Amazon Prime. But it's also available to buy on our website. You can buy the DVD, or you can order it so you can own it through Amazon also. The next phase is we're going to actually be releasing the soundtrack album, which has, as I said, as I mentioned before, some of Tony's songs that he had through various projects, different projects that I had worked in, and then some new Vicious Kitty music that is actually part of the soundtrack too. So that's going to be posted soon. We'll be announcing that if you sign up for the blog at ThisIsKitty.band, then you'll be in the loop on that too.
All right. Awesome, as a matter of fact. Also, we should tell them what the backstory is. So give them a short synopsis of what Big Blue A Fishy Tale is all about.
Well, what it is. This is the actual deal. It started out as two crazy guys and a truck and a $20,000 credit card who thought they could make a feature film. We can do it. We can do it. And turns out, well, what do you do with that? Okay, well, we can make a fishing movie. We don't need sets. We'll go to the river. we got an old beat up truck. Cool, we'll drive around in that. And that's how we shot the movie 20 years ago. We basically got together on weekends. We'd work all week. We'd save up enough money to buy enough film to shoot for the weekend and get a scene or two in the can. Then off we went. And as I said, we utilized the music that I had played in, and Tony had played in, and some other bands too. And we utilized the music for the soundtrack, and we put together this movie. Well, it had gotten shelved because we basically couldn't afford to edit the film together. It was just it was prohibitively expensive. We tried. Sure. We did edit a version together on VHS, but the resolution was just so bad that we sent it to a couple of people, distributors, and we got letters back saying, we liked it, but there's nothing we really think we can do with it. And so it got shelved for 20 years. And as I said a couple of years ago, I by accident ran across a place that could transfer to digital. And we ended up taking all the film, which we still had in a box, in a shelf, and we digitized the entire movie and then re-edited it together, piece by piece, scene by scene, cut by cut. And then added back in the soundtrack, and as I said, we put in some new Vicious Kidney music also. From the ashes arose the digitized version of Big Blue Fishy Tail, which is now available out there on Amazon and Vimeo.
Well, and live, folks, because not only here's another surprise, obviously I have now committed to showing Big Blue, A Fishy Tale, at least 3 more times this year. We'll also be screening at my film festival in New York City this year. So, and every time that I do a screening, what am I taking with me? I'm taking Big Blue, A Fishy Tale in copy form. That's right. You can come and buy a DVD of Big Blue, A Fishy Tale at any one of my screening events while I'm prancing around God knows where, because I'm starting to lose track of where I'm ending up next week. I sound like Jimmy now. Oh, I'm sorry. I had to do that. I'm like kind of floating around all over the city or the country, and it's kind of like, yeah, you'll lose track after a while. So yes, folks, you can actually go ahead and get the DVDs there, actually. Obviously, I forgot to mention, but yes, their CDs have been in my movie, which is in post-production right now. You will see their poster in my movie. You will also hear their music in my movie, and you see their T-shirts. So I am Vicious Kitty front, back, and sideways all over the place. I don't know if that sounded right. Sorry. But, you can never get enough Vicious Kitty.
I mean, really.
Absolutely, without a doubt. Now, since we've only done one, let's do another one. I do have another song to play. This time, actually, we could have you do a segue into No More Waiting, because obviously that's the more recent one. I know that February 1st was the premiere for that. So give everybody an intro into No More Waiting, and we'll play that one for them as well.
Okay, so I mentioned earlier about my daughter, and this song was actually written about her, and there was this guy that she really liked, and he just kept like, oh, well, yeah, we'll get together. And so it all kind of came from that, really, and now she totally dumped the guy and said, you're out of here, and she's actually with a great guy now, and so she's totally moved on. And so this song is literally about no more waiting. You're out of here. And that's
actually sometimes that's great advice. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I absolutely
you don't
love
wait
that.
for somebody who doesn't appreciate you and think that you are it. I mean, no more waiting.
That's exactly right. That is perfect. That's a perfect segue. And on that note, let's play it. It's called No More Waiting.
Revolves around you.
Yeah, I can't hear anything. Everything's cutting out. I can't even, I can't hear you. It's cutting out so bad I can't hear you if you're talking.
Hello?
See why I like that song?
Hello?
I love that song.
Wow.
I like them both. I'm just partial. I just can't help it. So, that's I cannot believe that this has been an hour and 45 minutes. This is what happens when people come to my show. Either it's just too much fun or we just cover too much, or I'm not sure, but I've enjoyed myself immensely. There's a couple business things we have to do before we wrap it up. If you've heard my show before, you guys may not have. I'm going to read all the different places where everyone can find you. And when I get finished, just let me know if I forgot anything, okay? So here we go.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Obviously, this is the voice from Vicious Kitty. Obviously, here we go with the 5,000 ways to find them. 2 different websites, viciousKitty.band and bigbluefishytail.com are the 2 websites. They can be found on the following: Amazon, Spotify, CD Baby, Vimeo, iTunes, Apple Music, YouTube, Reverb Nation, and on Facebook, there's 3 different ways. Obviously, these boys each, of course, have their personal Facebook pages. They have the professional page, which is, of course, the Vicious Kitty page, and Big Blue A Fishy Tail. Any other place that I'm forgetting, or anywhere else where they might be able to find it off the top of my head, I might have forgotten. I think I covered all of them, but I just want to be sure.
Yeah, no, you covered all of them. You got it. Definitely, and like I say, go to the best way to keep up on all the new Vicious Kitty perks and news is go on, sign up for the blog. We've got we're putting out a blog every week, and it keeps you up on all the stuff that's going on, and you just go right to www.viciouskitty.band, and you can sign up for the blog and subscribe with your email, and boom, you're in the loop. You're part of you'll be a Vicious Kitty.
Don't forget the name of the cat contest.
That's right. Yes, and when you do that, you'll be able to enter the name of the cat contest, and whoever comes up with the best name for our new mascot is going to win the big prize. So.
Ooh, that is absolutely awesome. And if you want the personal touch, as we mentioned, this coming Saturday at O'Malley's Irish Pub, which is in Tacoma, Washington, which starts at 8 o'clock on this coming weekend. And for the future, if people want to come and meet you, are you going to be doing something? Obviously, of course, as far as I know, you guys are coming to the film festival, of course, but have you lined up something like a personal appearance or some place in particular where they can catch all 3 of you at the same time, shake your hand, say, hey, da-da-da-da-da? Because oftentimes people want to meet musicians even when they're not on stage, just because you guys are downright fascinating. I won't lie. Most of my musician pals, I'd hang out with them all the time if I could. So is there a way for your fans to interact with you outside of the gig at all? And that's kind of the best ways to. You can send us a message, through the website. You can email us, and we will be doing some personal appearances upcoming this summer. We're going to be going places and hanging out. We've got a lot of old musician buddies that we go down and see them and hang out. So we will definitely be announcing on the website when we're all going to go down and hang out with some friends of ours. Oh, also, there was one more thing. I actually have an Instagram account that I've set up. It's Matt Tantrum, which is my former Sea City Dolls name, which I kind of go by occasionally. TANTRUM, Matt Tantrum, and it's Instagram. Okay. So if you want to follow us on that, because I post a lot of stuff as we're out gigging. I'll take a shot here and there of what we got going on and us rolling into various events. And so follow us on Instagram, too. Absolutely. And I don't want to forget to mention this. Now, once this episode gets finished, by the time I get back home with my little guy, because we're going out to see Captain Marvel this evening, I think.
Oh, nice.
I will send you the, that's what they tell me. He wants to see it. Cindy does not, but that's okay. But because he has been very patient waiting for Mom. So I'm like, we are totally going to go out
There
and do
you
something.
go. And that's the important stuff. That's the good stuff.
Yes, that is exactly right. So I will send you, there's a copy, I upload this to my YouTube channel, and of course, obviously, I will send you the Blog Talk Radio link. Now, obviously, of course, I kind of jump-started the gun before and told you what I think of you. So I will wrap up the rest of this by telling you this much. One of the coolest parts about my going into PR a couple of years ago was that I was insistent that I was only going to handle individuals of the indie nature, meaning you had to be kind of broke, which I absolutely love. I admire people who don't have a lot of money because I work with people who do. So I love people with extreme amounts of talent, very small amounts of pocketbook, a whole lot of heart, and a whole lot of passion. You, all three of you gentlemen, by far accelerate in every single area, far more than I could have ever asked for. I am beyond grateful
well, thank you very
for
much.
the opportunity to do that.
Sweet.
I think it's very important to surround yourself with people who are very grounded and who have all sorts of humility and huge amounts of talent, which you do. This is exactly why I put you in everything that I do. This is exactly why all of these plans for the future are happening, including collaborating with Michael. The other big thing that I wanted to mention is, yes, because I know that I heard through the grapevine that Jimmy likes red carpet events. You have 2 coming in your future. Not 1, but 2. So now you'll be on the red carpet.
Great.
You will be in film. Hopefully you'll be playing more, and in addition to which, hopefully, this is one of many interviews that are coming, which I know for a fact are. And, of course, very soon to follow. I'll be sending you over all your reviews tomorrow and all that other good stuff that I owe you, and a rate sheet, because from what I hear, apparently your music's going to be in more than one movie. So it has been a true pleasure to take this ride. No, I do not. I'm just a simple girl trying to do very big things for very important people, and you are. And my hope here is that I've done you justice in the amount of time that we've been together, and the next time we'll all be together, we'll be on a stage together, and we'll be doing this live, broadcasting from Washington.
That would be great.
And I'll keep you posted on that. Yes, absolutely, without a doubt. And yes, and so I'll let you guys go for now. I'll get a hold of you all. Yeah, that's exactly right. Be there or be square. That's what they used to say. I'll touch base with all you guys after the fact, so we can actually have like a powwow when we're not on the air and actually.
That'd be great.
Go and enjoy the rest of your night. I'm gonna go hang out with my kid and sign off on here. But thanks you guys for being so patient and just thanks.
Okay.
Well,
thank you. Thank you for your kind words and all the things you do for Vicious Kitty.
Thank you. Very kind.
Really appreciate
Anytime,
it.
my dear.
Deeply.
Thank you. All right, boys, you're off the hook. Go enjoy your night. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye.
All right, guys. Good night. Tell me that they are not fabulous, right? And I'm not just saying that because they're my clients, because they are that damn fabulous. So if you guys get a chance to, obviously, like we mentioned, Big Blue: A Fishy Tale is the name of the movie. Get your butts on Amazon. Go ahead to Vimeo and check it out, or obviously come to one of my events where you can go ahead and get a DVD copy. Again, the website, www.bigbluefishytale.com. Otherwise, it's viciousKitty.band. And they can also be found on Spotify, CD Baby, again, Vimeo, iTunes, Apple Music, YouTube, Reverb Nation, Facebook, Instagram, as we mentioned, obviously. And, again, please, if you get a chance near the Tacoma area, O'Malley's Irish Pub, 8 o'clock this coming Friday. My dear thanks to all 3 of the boys, and I mean that sincerely, to you, Matt, to you, Jimmy, and to you, Tony. I wish you nothing but success, and I'm here for the long haul. Again, of course, to Mr. Gentili, thank you so much for calling in today. It was a true pleasure to have you come on, and I love the fact that all of my artists are collaborating together. I'm feeling very grateful and extremely, very happy-hearted this evening for many reasons. So, folks, I will be on air one more time tomorrow, and then I'll be doing 2 shows on Friday from New York City. So go ahead and check the lineup. If not tonight, I'll have it posted tomorrow on the Sins Chat Corner Facebook page. Thanks so much to all you guys for listening in tonight. You have a great evening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care.